now that we've got the power, we're going to use it. So I have been trying to make this video for like a week. It has been so rainy and so cold here in central New York that I haven't been able to do anything really since that first mow. But I wanted to show you guys the new Dethatcher. This showed up last Saturday. I got it all unboxed and put together. It's a Greenworks 14-inch corded Dethatcher. It was only about $100 on Amazon. I've been mulling over getting one for a long time, but for that price point, I kind of just had to go for it. You know, the fact that it's corded, I'm not a huge fan of, but being that you're only going to use it once, maybe twice a year, I figured why not. So I already did the front yard out here. And let me preface this by saying this is not the ideal time of year to be dethatching at all, especially with the ground being as wet as it is. It's rained all week. It's still pretty muddy. It's not the perfect time. However, I am going to be overseeding here probably this weekend, and I always like to dethatch right before I overseed, mainly because the dethatch and there's a lot of confusion about what thatch actually is. The actual thatch layer, which is right down on the soil, is a good thing, but what most people pull up with these dethatchers is actually just grass clippings. Excess grass clippings from cutting your lawn too long, or you know, your mulching blade might be a little dull. So that's what I'm going to try to pull up, because when you overseed, you really want to have that contact with the soil. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a little bit on the side of the house over here, and I'll show you guys how it works, and maybe some alternatives if you don't want to spend any money on a dethatcher. Let's go. All right, so here is the side yard. Still got all these ruts I've got to take care of, but first step is going to be to try to get this dethatched. Again, it's really wet here. It's almost to the point that it's squishy, but I want to get it done because I really want to try to overseed, because I got a lot of other plans here. I wanted to show you, we'll do a close-up here of what exactly I'm talking about. See all this brown grass that's here? That's all the stuff that this dethatcher is going to pull up. Now, I mentioned not ideal time of year, not only because it's wet, but also because this time of year, we're really just coming out of winter here, even though it's May. You know, we had snow less than a month ago here. A lot of this lawn is still going to be dormant, and that's still going to have that brownish tint to it. So is there potential to maybe harm something here? Yeah, but I like to think of it as kind of giving my lawn its hairbrush. You know, it's it kind of stands everything up, gets everything that was matted down all winter, stands it right back up so that we can do something with it. As you saw, the front yard was the same way, and that came out pretty good. So I think we'll be all right. I'm only going to do this side yard here. I might do the back a little bit. You know, the fact that we're on a cord, I'm not going to go all the way down the hill with it. It just doesn't make any sense. But we'll get the front yard looking good, get the side yards looking good, and see where we go from there. Alright, so let's say you've got maybe a smaller yard, or don't want to have to spend the money on a power dethatcher that is only going to get used once a year. You have other options, absolutely. This is what I always started using, just a regular yard rake, garden rake. Some people say these are a little bit aggressive, and they might be. I'm usually not too concerned about hurting my lawn too much, because every time I dethatch, I end up overseeding. So you can also use just a regular leaf rake. I wouldn't use one of these plastic ones. It's not going to really get the job done, but they have these ones with metal tines that work really well. And again, if you've just got a small space, that'll get the job done, absolutely. I also, for previous years, when I had my lawn tractor, I just used one of those pull-behind dethatchers that worked really well. and those are cheap as well, so if you got a lawn tractor, pick one of those up. But now that we've got the power, we're going to use it. So let's get this baby hooked up and see what comes up. Alright, so we're all hooked up. We got this crazy cord holder thing that came with this thing. I don't know if that's set up right, but whatever. So I wanted to show you on this Greenworks, there's some height settings here, and you're going to pay attention to the bottom setting here. I want to go low. So whichever way is reading straight up is what you want to have it set at. I believe that's on both sides. Let me just double check. Yeah, so we're low over here too. So pretty low is gonna really, it's gonna dig in. You know, you're really gonna pull some stuff up with that. But again, I'm not too concerned. My whole plan is to get contact with the soil so that I can get my seeds down and get them to actually germinate, which typically isn't a huge problem, except, as you probably already saw, we are full in the middle of dandelion bloom here, and every day I come out, there's more and more and more. So there is potentially an issue there with opening up the soil to more dandelions, but that's something I'm just going to have to try to risk this year, because this lawn needs overseeding badly. So traditionally I'd be doing all of this in the fall, but we're going to try it all in the spring. So all right, I'm all set up. We'll get this thing started, and you can see how it works. So that's one pass back and forth, and you'll see, again, we're really not in ideal conditions right here. It's really wet. I really shouldn't be doing this, but I want to get this video out so that you guys can all see what it does before maybe you try it yourselves here soon. But we're getting some stuff up. It's looking good. One thing I want to mention about the Greenworks, once you get it going and moving forward, it's not like a lawnmower. You can't pull it backwards. You're really going to dig in. You're going to tear up some serious stuff here if you try to do that. So just to try to keep it moving forward. When you get to the end of the row, just stop it, turn it around. It's a pain with the cord, but it'll be all right. All right, we're gonna finish this up, and I'll show you guys the finished product. All right, so we got everything finished up here to this side of the first pass. You'll see down here I started to go quite a bit slower. I'm getting some real good stuff over here, so slow down. And almost let it pull you across the lawn. Let it really dig in and get that stuff up. I found I had some better results. Probably, if you haven't done any dethatching in a couple of years, you might want to even do 2 passes crisscross. So now we got this one done. I'll probably just do one for now, because like I said, it's so wet. I'll do it again in the fall maybe, but I'm gonna grab my mower and we'll cut it with a bag on it and pull all this stuff up and see how it looks with all the brown pulled out of it. Alright, well, there we have it. One thing, those dethatchers give you crazy stripe definition. I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's going at that grass so hard it gives you crazy stripes. What do you guys think? Did it help at all? I think it probably needs another pass, but I'm gonna wait. Really shouldn't have done this one with it this wet. If you're looking to dethatch, right now we're in central New York, where it's been really wet. If you're going to be looking to do this, it's the first week of May now. I would wait at least 2 more weeks to see if we get any more rain. If it dries out a little bit, then go for it. I just think you're tearing up way too much stuff with it this wet. and you know, I'm starting to get some ruts from the mower even, so I'd wait a little bit, but I wanted to get this out just so I can show you guys how it all goes. Next up, we got a bunch of stuff on tap. We're gonna start talking about some weed control. I mean, this backyard is definitely starting to come back like it was when we got it last August. So I'm gonna start getting into some broadleaf weed control and taking care of some of that spring stuff that's not really that hard to get rid of if you use the right stuff. So we're going to get into that. We'll talk about overseeding, and then with that we'll start talking about getting into fertilizer as well. So if anybody's been overseeding this spring, look for that one in the next week or so. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, join the Facebook group. It's linked down below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.